Hey everybody, welcome to BrickVault. My name's Jack. Today we've got a LEGO Star Wars set to review. This is the Rebel Combat Frigate. We've got an age recommendation of 9 to 14. It is set number 75158 and it has 936 pieces. Included are 5 minifigs. We have Ahsoka Tano, the droid Chopper, along with Ezra Bridger, also Commander Sato, and Agent Kallus. The main feature, of course, is this big build for the frigate, and from the looks of it, there seem to be a lot of really cool functions included. Okay, let's see how many bags are inside. Okay, so the box contains 7 bags. There are no repeat bags, so you see the number 7 and it goes up to 7. There is one pretty large manual and just a few stickers inside. Not very many considering how big this build is gonna be. All right, let's get started right now. All right, let's check out the minifigs first. There are a couple that are actually exclusive to this set, and this first one here is Ahsoka Tano. She comes with a new headpiece, her skin tone's a little darker, and there's some great detailing for the body. She's also got a couple of really nice expressions, but by far I think the best feature is actually not on the minifigure itself, but with her lightsabers. These are 2 new colors of blue. It's easier to compare the color of her lightsabers when you see her next to Ezra Bridger. He's got a standard blue lightsaber that all the other Jedis come with, and that in and of itself is pretty significant. She's the only minifigure with this color lightsaber. And I think this is the first time the bar piece has even been molded for this color in the first place. So anyway, she's probably going to be a pretty sought after minifig in the future, but let's move on to Ezra Bridger. We're already kind of looking at him, and he's not exclusive to this set, but a decent minifig nonetheless. I do like that they use the binocular piece for his lightsaber blade, and he does come with a different expression. And I guess we'll check out Chopper next. Also not exclusive to this set, they both came out in the Phantom, but he's a pretty decent droid, very unique in terms of an astromech droid for LEGO, and he's got some pretty nice detailing all around. Next up is our other exclusive fig to the set. This is Commander Sato. Most unique thing about this guy is he's got a different skin tone, not the average flesh-colored head by any means, but I really don't understand those light orange lines used to show his cheekbones. He's got a really nice alternate expression, and the detailing for the body is pretty good, and if he remains exclusive to this set, he'll probably be worth quite a bit in the future. Last fig up here is Agent Kallus. He's got really nice detailing on the chest piece, 2 very good expressions, and an excellent mold for the helmet. He's not exclusive to this set, but he's a great fig, and I'm really glad that they put him out again. Alright, and moving on to the real bit of the set review, here is the Combat Frigate. Usually I'm surprised by how big a set ends up being once I complete it, but this is one of the few times where the build ended up being a little bit smaller than I was actually anticipating. When I saw that it was nearly 1,000 pieces, I figured this thing was going to be really big, but when you put it together, this thing is reinforced incredibly well. It's extremely strong, and all of those extra pieces kind of go into the interior, as opposed to making this thing really big or have a ton of detail on the outside. Now, I don't think the detail is necessarily lacking on the outside, but it is not really trying to be accurate to the ship. There's a lot of areas that aren't really proportional to each other within the actual dimensions of the ship, and some bits of detailing here just look like creative liberties entirely. I usually call those aesthetic sacrifices, but this is a playset at heart, I feel, and let's check out what some of the ship's functions are. The biggest function of the ship is the switch between attack mode and hyperspace mode. When you twist the wheel in the back, you can fold the sides in, and this is what the ship looks like when it's in hyperspace. And the next big play feature of this ship is something that a lot of big ships are coming with now, and this is a central handle for picking up and moving around the ship. You can fly around with it like this. It's extremely sturdy, and this is definitely a great place to hang the ship if you want to use it for an aerial display. Now, its last functions are pretty apparent. It's got a couple of weapons features. There are two posable stud gun turrets in the back. They rest there pretty loosely, but it is very easy, of course, to fire them. And then in the front, there are two posable spring-loaded shooters that can look up and down, and then yes, it's very easy to shoot those off as well. I'd also like to point out the piece in the front there. There's a great print for the cockpit or bridge, and it might look a little bit loose or weak in its attachment, but it's actually pretty strong. It's just attached at a few points with some Technic pieces. Now, I know I just said the weapons functions were the last functions, but that's not true at all. You can actually remove the entire roof to reveal a pretty large interior. Admittedly, there really isn't that much detail going on, but what we do have is plenty of space to fit all the minifigs. Now we're just about done with the review and putting the roof back on. There's one last thing that I did notice that I kind of thought was nice, and that is if you put the Ghost microfighter ship next to this Rebel combat frigate, the scale is actually pretty good. The Ghost actually would probably be a little bit smaller than this, but nonetheless they look very good together on a display. Alright, here we are at the end of the review. Final thoughts. I think the set works really well as a playset. It is definitely designed for that. Looks-wise, it's probably not the most perfectly accurate to the original model, but it might be the most structurally sound Star Wars ship that I've encountered. We get a couple of really nice exclusive figs. I'm very happy about those new blue sabers for Ahsoka Tano. That's really cool for a collector. And it's a pretty good set, especially for its piece to price ratio. Alright, that's it for this episode. If you want to buy the set, I have left a link in the video description below if you want to check it out. Other than that, thanks a lot for watching. If you enjoy our content, you can always subscribe or like this video, and we will see you next time at BrickVault.